All right, so you're telling me that winter break is only in 2 weeks,
I don't know how many times I gotta tell you, Gabby, but yes.
which means finals is in 1 week.
Well, if 2 plus 2 is 4, then...
How can finals be in 1 week?
Okay, well, that's just how time works.
Okay, but I haven't even started studying. School just started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Gabby Kramer.
And I'm Owen DeWeese, apparently the only one prepared for finals.
I'm not ready. How can finals be so soon? Now I'm panicking.
Okay, it can't be that bad. What finals do you even have to take? I can help you study.
I have my intro to chemical engineering class and
Your what?
Oh, it's just an elective. I also have my underwater basket weaving class.
Are we even going to the same school? What kind of classes are those?
Normal ones. What type of classes are you taking?
The normal ones, English, general electives, not chemical engineering and underwater whatever.
Excuse me, underwater basket weaving is a serious class. And who takes English in college?
Everybody! You have to take it to graduate!
I hate to break it to you, but no. You are the only person I know taking English. Everyone else is taking serious classes like yoga or lion taming.
You get to take yoga. That's a class that I would love to take. It would get me all limber.
Oh, and this is serious. Finals are so close, and I am so worried.
Look, I'm sure that your rocket scientist hippie classes will have easy finals. My English class is writing a final paper, and it has to be 10 pages long. 10.
Speaking of 10, let's hear this 10 out of 10 segment.
Given that I am our resident weeb, I figured there would be no better way to get ready for winter break than looking at what animes are getting new seasons, coming to a conclusion, or are brand new altogether. So grab your anime boy body pillow and settle in. First things first, Demon Slayer released its second season this December, and after a successful first season and a movie, it doesn't seem to be slowing down. Demon Slayer Mugen Train, or Demon Slayer Infinity Train, was the direct sequel to the first season of the anime series. The film was released on October 16, 2020 in Japan and later made its debut internationally. It grossed over $503 million at the worldwide box office, making it the highest grossing film of 2020 and the first time a non-Hollywood production topped the annual box office, and becoming the highest grossing anime and Japanese film of all time. Before Demon Slayer came back for its second season, the anime released a brief arc that recuts the Mugen Train sequence and acted as a short prequel to the movie to bridge the gap between Season 1 and the movie. As it stands, Season 2 will be the Entertainment District arc and will kick off with an hour-long episode. Attack on Titan is set to release the final half of the final season, January 2022, to conclude the series. Given the mixed response to the end of the manga, I'm excited to see if they end the anime the same way or if they change it up. The first half of the final season featured 16 episodes, but the length of the second half has yet to be announced. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is getting another installment, Stone Ocean, will be the sixth part of the anime to date, and if it goes well, hopefully there will be more parts in the future. Yet another Dragon Ball sequel is coming in 2022. Dragon Ball Super Superhero is coming out following the success of Dragon Ball Super. Jujutsu Kaisen is releasing Jujutsu Zero based off the one-shot manga of the same name. The movie will serve as a kind of prequel to the main show that became a hit after its release. The movie is set to release on December 24th, 2021. Other than that, I also need to catch up on Star Wars Visions, which is currently on Disney+. And for anyone who is a My Hero Academia fan, the movie My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission also came out in November of 2021 and takes place around the end of Season 5. There are also two other My Hero movies, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising and My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. So if you need me over winter break, I'll be catching up on anime and adding more to my watch list. That's all from me, the resident weeb. I'm Jamie Howell.
Wow. That really was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was like 100%, unlike my finals.
On the bright side, after you bomb your finals, you can take some real classes like English.
Actually, next semester I was looking into a class on girl bossing, gaslighting, and gatekeeping, otherwise known as the Drew and Jamie class.
Oh, the Drew Jamie class. What about all the other producers like Kat or Christy?
Well, Kat is clearly alternative dance and Chrissy is married, so...
So she doesn't have a class.
Yeah, she's married. That's how that works.
So if I get married, I don't have to take classes anymore.
No, you're not listening. If you get married, you won't have to do a class about you.
Oh, my mistake. Anyways, let's move on before I die of confusion.
Hello again. I'm here to talk about Red Taylor's version, which if you aren't living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard about. I wish that I'd been able to talk about this earlier, but due to Thanksgiving break and some other things that happened, here we are. Long story short, it's amazing. Let's get into it. So Red Taylor's version came out on November 12th, pushed up from its original release date of November 19th. To start with, the re-recorded songs are phenomenal. There are radio hits like I Knew You Were Trouble and We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together sound fantastic with Taylor's more mature vocals. And fan favorites like Holy Ground, I personally think almost sound better than the originals. However, what the internet has been non-stop talking about for the past few weeks is Taylor's version of All Too Well. Not the original cut, which is fantastic in its own right, but the 10-minute version, which Taylor initially wrote when writing Red, but was forced to cut by her record label. The 10-minute version of All Too Well is frankly heartbreaking, but I think what's interesting is you can hear the influences of her recent releases Folklore and Evermore on this version. It's more pared down, and due to this, as well as the emotional and raw lyrics that we're hearing for the first time, this version is more intimate than any other song on the album. That being said, the vault tracks, which are songs that Taylor initially wrote for Red but were not allowed to release, are some of my favorites from Red Taylor's version. One of the highlights for me is Nothing New, featuring Phoebe Bridgers, which sonically sounds like it was stripped straight from Bridgers' 2020 album Punisher, which features heartbreaking lyrics and fears about becoming older and losing your youth. The other song that I cannot stop listening to is the tongue-in-cheek country bop I Bet You Think About Me, featuring Chris Stapleton, which accompanied by a fantastic original music video directed by Blake Lively. Overall, I think that Red Taylor's version is honestly better than the original, and definitely worth your time. But if you don't believe me, just look at the numbers. Red Taylor's version became the #1 streamed album by a female on its first day, breaking her previously held record with her 2020 album Folklore. It currently has 90 million streams on Spotify, making it one of the biggest albums of the year. That's all the time I have. I'm Drew Wilberger. Back to you guys.
And for my sandwich making class, I have to go against a Jimmy John's employee and see who's fat. Oh, we're back.
No, please continue. I think the audience would love to know about your sandwich making class.
Okay, great. So like I was saying, it's basically like the Hunger Games, and it's us versus Jimmy John's.
So does that mean that you're going to fight Kat?
I mean, if I have to fight Kat, I have to fight Kat. An A is an A.
They are probably ready to fight you for not showing up to writer's room.
Oh my god, we're still on this? I have improv classes.
Kat is positive that you're making that up. Who takes improv classes?
Owen, normal people do. It's a requirement to graduate.
Where did you get that idea?
Twitter.
Yeah. Believe everything you read online. That's a great idea.
Speaking of things we should believe online, here's our next segment.
So now that we're on the topic of producers talking about things that they're really obsessed with, I'm going to be talking about Doctor Who, which is what I have been obsessed with for probably the longest. I think besides Percy Jackson, Doctor Who has been the only constant thing that I'm just like, yes, I always want to be consuming this type of media. Because with Doctor Who, it just never ends. Currently, I am rewatching all of the seasons on HBO Max because as soon as I realized they were there, I immediately went bugging my friends, being like, yo, somebody, anyone, please give me their HBO Max information just so that I can watch Doctor Who. Lucky for me, somebody gave it to me, and now I am binging as fast as possible. So if you don't know anything about Doctor Who, then I don't know who you are, because Doctor Who is just the best thing in the world. But basically, it follows around an alien named the Doctor, who travels in time and space, picks up stray people, saves planets, the works. But Doctor Who has also been getting a lot of attention recently because they had recently cast, about a year or two ago, their first female Doctor, which there's a lot of controversy about, but I am pro Jodie. She is just the best person in the world. That's the reason I'm rewatching it, actually. I'm working my way up to her season so that I can finally be caught up, which isn't something that Doctor Who fans can say that they are most of the time, because it's just so much media to consume. But if you want to watch this quirky little TV show, it's on HBO Max, and boy, oh boy, do I recommend it. My name is Kat Weber, and that is all I have for you today.
So, Are you actually going to study or?
Absolutely not. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
If yoga class has taught me anything, it's to ignore negative energy.
That's the spirit.
And now on to our final words.
Thank you, Gabby. Today I'm going to talk about a TV show because you have already picked an album. I have been on a huge binge watching spree of the Breaking Bad universe, and I'm almost fully caught up on Better Call Saul. I actually am now. I was not when I wrote this. For those of you who haven't seen it, Breaking Bad follows a dude named Walter White and his evolution from a quiet and reserved high school chemistry teacher into a Pablo Escobar-level meth kingpin. The show starts with him being diagnosed with lung cancer, and he decides to cook one quick batch for a quick buck to support his wife and son. With many complications down that road, he ends up cooking over $7 million, and in the third season he recruits Saul Goodman, a crooked lawyer, to help him launder that money. Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad that follows, you guessed it, Saul Goodman and how he became Saul. Originally a lowly public defender, Jimmy McGill resorts to interesting tactics to get more clients and make more money. Saul is getting one more season, and I already know it's going to be an awesome tie-in to its predecessor. Anyway, there's a ton of trivia, but I wrote this right before the show last week, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, I guess. So that's all I have for this week. Let's hand it over to my lovely co-host to wrap this up.
Alrighty, hello friends. I am talking about an album. I'm excited to be talking about Miss Adele's newest album, 30. The album, released on November 19th of this year, has quickly become one of my favorites. Maybe I am biased because I've been an Adele fan since I was in middle school and looked like this, but that is not important. Everyone knew this album was going to tear us to pieces after news of Adele's divorce broke in 2019. Adele's distinct voice always has such an emotional and powerful effect on her listeners, and the track list on her fourth album is not any different. While I cannot relate to going through a divorce, you can bet your bottom dollar I have already begun listening and learning all the words and singing my pretty little heart out as if I had. All of the songs are beautiful, but one in particular shattered me. If you are going to listen to any song from this album, if you have not already heard Easy on Me, it is most definitely going to be My Little Love. The song, directed towards our son, caused me so many tears. In fact, I'm sure you've even heard a snippet of the song if you're an active TikTok user. The lyrics, "I'm holding on barely," should ring a bell, though I did not sing it and will not for everyone's sake. Anyways, I really enjoyed this album, and many of the songs had me tearing up. If you're into music that is filled to the brim with emotion, Adele's album 30 should be added to your library.
As always, thank you for watching. If you want to hear, see, taste, or smell anything else from us here at The Real Deal, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and our website for all things entertainment. I'm Owen DeWeese.
And I'm Gabby Kramer. See you next time on The Real Deal.